Coming up on Mountain News this morning, crews here in Hazard work to bring back water to people in our area, and utility companies prepare for damage and dangerous conditions before wintry weather makes its way across the Commonwealth.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. It's Wednesday and it's just before 6 o'clock here. I'm Dakota Makris. Thanks so much for getting your day started with us. And let's take a look at our busy forecast already with Brandon Robinson. Brandon, all calm right now for most part in our region, right, but sort of outside it's getting busy.
Yes, and I tell you, our folks at the National Weather Service offices pretty close to us were busy overnight because a lot of new alerts came out, so we'll detail some of those here in just a few minutes. But again, the rain is on the way thanks to a weak disturbance. Now, if you look at live pinpoint Doppler radar, it looks like it's falling in many areas right now, but it is not. We're continuing to see some green showing up, but the areas that we know for sure it is falling, this basically is called ground clutter, when it looks like it's raining but it doesn't reach the ground, is back toward Lexington and Danville out that way. So we're going to continue to monitor that for you for a little while. I can tell you this though, temperatures are going up this morning. So we basically kind of reached our low a little earlier. It was still in the 20s when I left the house in Letcher County this morning, but we're 30s, 40s, and even 50 right now. So regardless of where you are, temperatures are on the way up, but they're going to stay steady thanks to some southwest or even southeast winds there as we head through the daytime hours. They're actually kind of stout in some locations this morning. 51 is the forecast high. I would not be surprised if we made it into the low to mid 50s there in some locations, but regardless, we're not going to fall a whole lot once this system goes by. 46 our average high for today, 74 the record set back on this day in 2016. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Well, the city of Hazard continues to deal with a water shortage. Officials say low water in the city's tanks caused them to declare a state of emergency, leaving thousands without or with very little water. Perry County Schools closed yesterday because 3 of its schools had water issues.
When the temperatures drop here, people want to turn the water on. And if you take 2,000 or 3,000 people that's running a drip of, say, a gallon a minute or something, I mean, just do the math.
Well, we are told the city has 30 water tanks, and at least 25 of those were in the red. All Perry County schools will operate in person today, except Leatherwood and Viper, who will have an NTI day. All Buckhorn water customers are also under a boil water advisory until further notice. Well, with the potentially dangerous and damaging ice storm on the way to parts of our state, utility companies are already preparing. They are making sure that they have equipment in stock, that their workers are ready, and that people are aware of the various dangers caused by this potential ice storm, which can destroy everything from wires to poles and conductors, leading to outages that could last for several days.
But as we saw a year ago, Jeremy, ice can result in prolonged outages. So it's important for co-op members as well as co-op employees and these crews to be as prepared as possible.
Officials also warn people should stock up on their own equipment to prepare from outages, from emergency kits to flashlights to non-perishable food, and be sure to charge up phones so you can make emergency calls. Well, Kentucky tornado survivors have just a few more days to apply for federal help. The deadline comes 2 months after the historic tornado outbreaks in western Kentucky. FEMA has already approved more than $9 million in aid for survivors. February 11th is the deadline. Now the state is adding to the payouts with money from the Team Western Kentucky Relief Fund. Pike County is experiencing a spike in COVID cases as well as a spike in another common virus. Pike County is now 3rd highest for confirmed flu cases in the state. Along with the county's battle with COVID, officials suggest being vaccinated against both as soon as possible.
Vaccination definitely a wonderful tool to defeat the bad outcomes of COVID-19, and I highly encourage people to get vaccinated for COVID-19. This is going to help tremendously the bad outcome from COVID-19.
Pike County Health Department is hosting testing and vaccine events in Belfry, Phelps, and Elkhorn City for the next 6 weeks. You can visit our website or call the health department for more information. Well, Kentucky is beginning to see declining COVID-19 cases. The state reported 8,700 new cases yesterday. 15 more deaths were also reported. That puts Kentucky just under 13,000 total deaths since the beginning of the pandemic. The positivity rate has also declined to 27.51%. Hospitalizations and the number of people in the ICU are also down statewide. However, there are 216 COVID patients in the 14 ARH hospitals as of yesterday. Well, that's 16 more than Monday. Well, the Kentucky House has passed a bill that would extend pandemic-related relief for employers on their unemployment insurance tax assessments. Now, the measure would allow employers to continue using the rate set for 2020 before the pandemic. Supporters say it would save Kentucky businesses on average about $70 per employee. The bill would apply retroactively to January 1st, 2022 if it becomes law. Now, the bill was put on a fast track in the House, having cleared a committee late last week. The measure passed 87-4 in the House on Monday and now moves on to the Senate. Well, research from the CDC reports that Kentucky ranked last in the nation last year in getting enough exercise. Now, the study looked at the percentage of adults who reported doing no physical activity in the last 30 days other than their regular job. Tammy Riley, the public health director in Pike County, says low-income areas in particular are at a disadvantage for getting access to health-related resources.
Nutritious, balanced diet. But you also have to get moving. The pandemic hasn't helped the situation. And then when you look at areas where, income may be lower, healthy eating is not inexpensive, so it can be challenging.
Kentucky also ranked last in the nation for eating enough fruits and vegetables. The Appalachian Pregnancy Care Center hosted its annual fundraiser banquet Tuesday night, bringing silent and live auctions to the table as its supporters gathered for a night of country food and fun. Our buddy Forbes has more from the flannel-filled Appalachian Wireless Arena.
Tonight is a celebration of life.
Or a jamboree for life.
We are there, we're compassionate, we're loving, and we're just there to give you a jump start.
The Appalachian Pregnancy Care Center is celebrating 15 years of pregnancy and family care services.
I just can't thank our community and surrounding communities. Basically, we're located, I call, the farmost part of eastern Kentucky. And we serve the farmost part of eastern Kentucky. We're it.
Using a mountain menu of coleslaw and country music to highlight its mission.
First ever that walks through the doors, Appalachian Pregnancy Care Center client. Very first one.
Raising money for the center, which serves as a resource for mothers and families in need who find themselves in unplanned situations.
It's really hard feeling, your parents aren't there for you, feeling like you're alone and you don't have a support system and you have to prove everybody wrong because everyone is expecting you to fail. Something
Virginia Bowling says she experienced firsthand when she was 15 and walked into the newly formed center.
I had a choice to make and I chose life, and it was just, God spoke to me, and I just knew that no matter what situation that I was in, that I was going to be able to handle it.
Now with 3 daughters, she says the center and the people who support it have given her more than she ever expected. So she works to share her story, to share theirs.
And for me to be able to walk into a room this big and to show my kids, these are the people that helped us get to where we are today.
With hopes that more awareness and more support will help the center help other families like hers for years to come. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, the center has helped more than 7,500 families in need during the last 15 years, and Hammond announced plans to move the center into a new space soon.
6:08 here on this Tuesday. Actually, it's Wednesday morning. Sorry, I almost got stuck in time there for just a second, but it's Groundhog Day. Maybe that's why I got stuck, because, Bill Murray and Groundhog Day have repeated the same day and over again, so maybe I'm stuck on Tuesday. But today, rain is moving in, but it's not reaching the ground in our area just yet. You see I-75 there at Mount Vernon, which is one of the closer cameras we have to the rain line, but it still looks pretty dry over there for the moment. But the rain is on the way in waves today. Temperatures already going up They basically reached their low earlier this morning, but we're into the upper 30s and 40s and even 50s right now as we head deeper into the forecast. 51 this afternoon. We're going to see chances for rain really increase later, so take your rain gear with you. This is just the beginning. That disturbance will meet the cold front tomorrow. The alert day is underway, and that winter storm looking more and more likely even for us here in the next couple of days. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. At 6:09 coming up, a new study shows people here in the U.S. might be relying a bit too much on outside sources to help them catch some Z's. That's next.